Hi, so today we're going to go through the basics of coding. So before me, I have a sample code. So this sample code is a great example because it shows how you would start any basic code. So first, if anyone wanted to create a code, you just go to File, click New, and then click Java. So after you click Java, you can name the code whatever you want. And then it'll give you a base program with just your class, your package, and some of your imports. So for any code for FTC, you want to make sure you have all these imports for basic coding. For advanced, you might need more imports. So first things first, a common mistake a lot of people make is their program is named wrong. So what you want to do is you want to make sure the name you have here is the name you have down here. So whatever you named the program when you created it, the click new Java should be what you have for the public class. Basic op mode underscore iterative should be the same. Additionally, these are some of your first variables that you're going to need. You're going to need your elapsed time to make sure you have your runtime. And then here we have our first motor, our left drive motor and our right drive motor. So additionally, say you want to add more. You want to add a DC motor for your back right drive, right? You can go like this. And now you have a back right drive. But you can see that it's gray because you haven't used this anywhere else. So you also want to add a front right drive, let's say. This is how you would do that. Additionally, for servo motors, you could do it like this. Private, servo motor, and it should come up as servo. So additionally, you can just name it servo, let's see, drive 1. He's going to know. Now you have your servo motor too. So now, if you want to use your DC motors, the way you would do it is you have another public void down here, which is known as your hardware map. So on your phone, there's something known as your configuration. In your configuration, you have the port number and the name of the object in that port. So if you open up your config, you should first have your expansion hubs inside your config or your control hubs. It depends on what you use. Inside there, you should be able to go to a tab called motors. Inside motors, you should have ports from 0, 1, 2, 3. In your 0 port, in our case, we have left drive there. And then on our 1 port, we have 2 as right drive. So now we want to add in our back right drive and our front right drive. So this is how we would do that. Back right drive, hardware map, .get, DC motor, .class, comma, and then you just have to put parentheses and it'll automatically pull up device name. And never forget your semicolons, because that will lead to a lot of unnecessary errors. And now you can put in back right drive. And now you can additionally put in your front right drive. So now after you finish this, you also want to make sure that you have your wheel direction set up. So that way, when you run your wheels, this is the direction it'll move. So if the power line is going backward, you want to set it to forward. That's why for the left drive, you see it forward, but for the right drive, you see it reverse. So that means if we were to do back right drive and front right drive, we would do it the exact same way, like this. Except we would just rename it. And front right drive. Additionally, what we would want to do is we would want to make sure that we add a telemetry statement. So the reason we would do this is so that way when we upload the code after that, we want to first press the initialize button, right? So that lets the robot know that you have initialized in your telemetry, which is usually in the spot under your start button. So after that, you want to add this public void. So that way the code will keep on running repeatedly until you uninitialize or you stop. And then this is for the code to start running when you hit the start button. So that way it resets the runtime and begins. Additionally, this is for left power and right power. So it sets the power to your right and left wheel based on this formula. This formula is where it does drive plus turn, and then it does minus -1 and plus -1 for the range. So that's the range of the power that's going to be usually putting. And that's typical because a motor's max power is 1. And then here's where we have it set to how we'll do drive and how we'll do turn. So in this, we're using tank drive, which means you have to push both of the joysticks forward for it to move. Here we have Y stick and X stick that are moving forward. Additionally, this is where we have the set power statements for left drive and right drive. So what we're also going to want to do is we're going to want to do all of these same things for the front right drive and the back right drive. Dot set power like this. Additionally, you can save a lot of time if you just copy and paste like this. So all you really need to do is just do this because the power is already set for you. So just make sure to set this as front right drive and back right drive. And it should be all good. So after that, this is your final stop statement. Your stop statement is what's used to stop your code. So that way it says you're doing nothing when you press the stop statement. So today we looked at a TeleOp program. In our next video, we'll look at an autonomous program.